Hi, this is Wasabi. Hope you're doing well. Today, we're going to talk about Disney. Now, you may or may not use Disney Plus, Netflix, Hulu. You may or may not have seen the news earlier this year where Netflix wanted to crack down on password sharing and everyone lost their shit. And people were like, oh, Netflix is going to die. I said the same thing. I was like, you know what? This is an awful decision. This is trash. There's no way that Netflix is going to bounce back from this. And then you look at this. Yeah, they tend to still be doing pretty well. There's no damage at all. In fact, they've actually done better. And to be honest, it really hurts my heart knowing that people just say, you know what, Netflix, keep fucking me in the ass. Keep doing it time and time and time again. And the reason why this is really upsetting is because I knew right off the bat, I'm pretty sure I said in the video where I last covered this whole Netflix shit, was if Netflix can get away with this and it shows that they succeed in doing this, other people are going to follow. And that is what Disney is doing themselves. So in a report made yesterday, it says Disney says it will start cracking down on password sharing following Netflix's lead. So it said CEO Bob Iger said on Wednesday's earnings call that the company is exploring account sharing for streaming and will provide additional details on its policy to curb it later this year. He continues on by saying, we already have the technical capability to monitor much of this. And he says, I'm not going to give a specific number except to say that it is significant. Says the company will roll out tactics to mitigate password sharing in 2024, while Iger said Disney should see some efforts from the rollout in 2024. The initiatives to prevent password share won't be completed next year. So pretty much it's their way of saying, hey, guess what, dog? We want more money. That's really all it is. It's just like, hey, we want more money. We know y'all greedy fucks. We know y'all don't really even use our service enough to really justify paying for our service. But because you're not paying for it, we're now going to try and make it even harder for you to use our service so that you might feel incentivized to pay for our service for that once in a blue moon when we do drop a good movie that you care about. And for me, I just think it's greedy as fuck. There is no reason that this shit should even really happen other than the fact that they just want more money and more money and more money. Because you got to remember, when it comes to capitalism and shareholders, investors, all that shit, all you want to do is keep making more money. That's what the shareholders want. They just want breaking quarterly profits time and time and time again. That's all they ever want. So to me, I feel like this infinite growth mindset of always trying to see which way to find more ways to make more money, it's sickening to me because there's no such thing as infinite money. Well, I guess to some people, they might believe otherwise, but realistically, there's no such thing as infinite money. Eventually, you're going to hit a ceiling where your return on profits isn't going to keep increasing every single quarter. It's just not going to happen. It's not realistic. But the thing is, there's no way you can tell that to a shareholder. There's no reason you can tell that to anybody, especially in a big corporation. So the next stop is, what do you do when you're not making a lot of money? Well, you start going for the low-hanging fruit, which is password sharing. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Realistically, that is pretty easy money to make. There are probably going to be people who are going to convert into paid subscribers if you take away the option for a lot of users to have password sharing. Hence Netflix. Netflix worked. People say, you know what? I like Netflix. I'm going to pay for it, even though I think their pricing scheme is absurd, which, you know what? Since it's been a while since I've been over it, I will show you real quick just so you can see how, in my opinion, how much of a ripoff it is. So what you're seeing right now is the plans and pricings for Netflix's service. And my God, to me, it's the biggest scam, biggest ripoff known to mankind. But let's go with this. Standards with ads. Ad supported all but a few movies and TV shows available. Unlimited mobile games. Wow, I get to play mobile games. Oh my God. What a useless fucking option to have on a goddamn streaming service. But I digress. It says watch on 2 supported devices at a time and then watch in full HD. And so for the standards with ads, price is $6.99. Then you move on to the standard plan. Unlimited ad-free movies, TV shows, and movie games. You get to watch on 2 supported devices at a time, watch in full HD, download on 2 supported devices at a time, and an option to add 1 extra member who doesn't live with you. Now, when I saw the option to add 1 extra member, I never saw that in the past, but I have heard about it, but I never really looked into it. So this is what I was talking about. Pretty much it says an extra member will have their own profile, account, and password, but their membership will be paid for by the person who invited them to join. So I'm not sure if that's like a way of saying that, let's say you have a big family, let's say you're the father of the family, right? And then you got a son, and then you want to invite your son to use your Netflix, but they don't live with you. I'm wondering if this means that, hey, with this option add 1 extra member who doesn't live with you, does that mean I don't have to pay for them to be under it? Or is that just saying, hey, you can add 1 extra person to your plan, but you still got to pay for that? Because if so, that's fucking stupid. I can't really understand how this works. I'm really not sure. If you do, let me know in the comments below. But I just wanted to mention that just because I found it pretty intriguing. But here's where I get really upset. This is what is the biggest scam, the biggest fucking ripoff in my opinion. It's the premium plan. The premium plan has unlimited ad-free movies, TV shows, yada, 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 all that shit. You can watch on 4 supported devices at a time. You can watch in Ultra HD, which is 4K, and then you get HDR at the same time. You can download up to 6 supported devices, option add 2 extra members who don't live with you, and then Netflix spatial audio. Now, the reason why I don't like this is because I like 4K. I got a 4K TV right there. Not trying to flex. Everybody gets a 4K TV at this point. But the point is, why is that locked behind a premium plan for $19.99? Make it make sense to me. If I'm the only person, let's say I decide to buy Netflix for myself and I want 4K, but I don't use any of this extra other shit, why are you paywalling 4K behind a premium paywall? That makes no sense. Why is it not on the standard? 4K should be standard at this point. I don't give a fuck if someone said, oh, well, 4K costs a lot of money and, you know, it's not fucking cheap. I don't give a fuck. You know why? Because other competing services do not charge for 4K behind its own separate paywall. If your competitors are not charging for it, you should not charge for it because there's no way you can justify it. But again, who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is something infinitely hard about how Netflix operates and the way they're trying to price everything. Maybe they have no choice but to make it $20, but I doubt it. Maybe there should be a separate plan for someone who is just lives by themselves and they should only have to pay for themselves because there's no other reason, especially when you remove password sharing. So I can't just sit there and buy this premium plan and then share it out with other people and maybe have them pay me like $2 a month to use my password in my account just so I can at least justify paying for a premium plan when nobody else lives here. But who knows? Anyways, I just wanted to rant about that because I think it's a fucking scam. This is the biggest pile of bullshit known to mankind. At this point in time, we're starting to go full circle again where it came with cable packages, having bundles. If you go to Disney Plus, you'll see they got the Disney Legacy bundle, the Hulu Plus bundle, the ESPN bundle. You got all these different bundles, plans, packages, and all the services continue to have their prices get hiked. They keep getting raised. They keep finding more ways to nickel and dime their customers. And we're just going back full circle where people are just going to start pirating content again. It's always a service issue and always has been. If you make the service hard to use, you make it too expensive, you make it where it can't make logical sense, I think everything is always going to lead back to piracy in one way, shape, or form. Now, of course, with Netflix having profit quarters, Disney Plus will probably have profit quarters, and for a little bit, they'll probably see it increase, and it'll happen for a couple months. But I don't think it's going to happen infinitely. I don't think it's just going to be time and time and time again where it's just going to keep on rising and rising and rising. I think there's no shot. I don't think that's possible. Inevitably, it's going to be a time where people are not going to want to keep paying the prices that keep going up. Because if I'm being honest, a lot of the prices are kind of high, especially for the content you get. You watch one and done and you're done. There's not a lot of content that ever gets really at the streaming platforms, in my opinion, that I think justifies the price or the purchase. The only thing I actually pay for at this point is Crunchyroll. I don't really use anything else. I like watching animes, kind of a given. You see all these posters around me, should be a no-brainer. But at the same time, I think the value for what I get getting on Crunchyroll is worth it as well too. But yeah, it's just corporations being greedy as usual, finding more ways to make more money. It's pretty sad that this is where we are heading, and I don't think it's going to get better. No shot. I think it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better, and it's partly because consumers are okay with paying more and more money despite everything getting more expensive. I guess there's enough people in the world who just have a fuckload of money to just spare around to pay for these services. But hey, you know what? If you enjoy it and you don't mind companies finding more ways to nickel and dime you every single opportunity they get, then hey, good on you. Keep paying those prices. Keep enjoying that service.